Hello, welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and we make brand new treasures. Okay, so today I'm riffing off a project that I did a while ago. So I'm a big fan of taking musical theater lyrics or songs or shows and kind of using those in a new way. So today we're going to take musical theater songs and lyrics and we're going to create bibs, baby bibs. So this one says food, glorious food. This one is supper time. And we have feed me. So today I'm going to show you how to use your Cricut to make bibs inspired by musical theater show tunes. All right, let's get crafting. Okay, so today we're going to start in Cricut Design Space. So if you've never used a Cricut, it is a cutting machine. And so we're going to affix the design onto the tea towels using a heat vinyl. So it's a heat transfer vinyl. And I'm cutting the vinyl out with my Cricut. So Cricut is a cutting machine. And so I'm going to start in Design Space. So in Design Space, we're going to, we're going to look at, I did Beauty and the Beast for Be Our Guest. I had Supper Time from Snoopy in the examples. And there are a whole bunch of other musical theater shows. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do from Oliver, Food, Glorious Food. So I've opened a new project in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to go to Images here. And I put Barbara Razor because I was thinking of maybe doing Worst Pies in London, which I thought would be kind of fun. So let's see. I'm going to put a bowl. Okay. And let's see. I like this one. So I'm going to add that. Now that is huge. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. So if you see on the top here, it tells you how big it is in inches. So we're going to keep these. I don't want it to be too large. And I've chosen to do them all in black and white. You can certainly do yours in color if you would like. So now I'm going to add some text. And I'm going to add food. Glorious food. Okay, and again, that's too large. So we're going to, you just take the corners and you drag it, just kind of like you do in your word processing programs. Now, I can also change the font if I don't like that particular font. There are lots of different fonts within Cricut Design Space. No, I don't like that one. Let's see. There are, you want one that's going to cut nicely, especially in, let's see what that one looks like. I'm not opposed to that one, honestly. I kind of want it to be able to be read easily. Let's see. No, I don't like that one for this. All right, well, let's go with that one. So I'm going to actually bring that down just a little bit more. And so we've got that ends up being about 6 inches across. So now when you're doing a project in Design Space, especially a project that you're going to use the heat transfer vinyl, you actually need to flip it. So when you make, I'm going to click Make. Okay, I'm just going to save it. I'll save it to my drama collection. Food, glorious. Oops. food. Okay. Oh, oops. All right, so this is actually good so that you can see what happened here. So this, the Food Glorious food is actually in a different color than the black bowl. So I'm going to make them the same color. I'm actually glad that happened so that I can show you how to do this. I'm also going to, I'm going to attach these. Okay, so if you notice, I dragged them both and I attached them right here. The reason for that is now they're going to be one. Okay, so they're not going to, sometimes when you make it, it will move things just to conserve on space. And so I'm glad that happened. So I'm going to go to make. So now you see that's together. Now, like I said, you need to actually mirror this. So there's a button right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's behind, I think, my face here. But it's a mirror button. Okay. And you want to click that. And then you're going to click continue. And it will show you what it's going to look like on your mat. Okay. So I'm actually going to stop recording here so that I can go over and show you what it looks like on the mat. All right, I need to show you how to put this is the HTV, the material that we're going to cut on the Cricut. So I want to show you HTV is put onto the mat a little bit differently. So I don't know if you can tell, there's a shiny side. This is the shiny side here and a duller side. So you want the shiny side to be face down on the Cricut mat. Okay, and so you're going to kind of flatten that out as much as possible. Then and if you remember, I reversed, so I mirrored the image, and that is it's gonna cut it out backwards on this, and you'll see why in a moment. All right, so I'm at the Cricut here, and I just inserted the HTV into the mat into the Cricut itself. And then at this point, you go back to the computer and you're going to click continue. And you'll see what happens here. It says you need to connect your Explorer, which it is. It takes a moment to acknowledge that. Okay, and I've set it to iron on. You can see here that it is set to iron on. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to start the machine. And when starting the machine, you're going to press, you see this is flashing. That's the Cricut emblem. That is flashing, and that means we are ready to go. So clicking that. Okay, so I have taken the vinyl off of the mat, you can see here, and I cut it down just to make it a little bit easier to weed. So I don't know if you can see the design there. It's a little tricky to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the weeding tool and we're going to try to grab the corner here. And now it's going to, sometimes it's easy to come off, sometimes it's not, and you're just going to be patient with it. And so you start to pull the excess vinyl. You're going to be careful. Sometimes you don't want to lose some of the pieces. It's actually quite satisfying, I have to say. A lot of people like weeding. I'm not a fan of it necessarily. But, okay, so and it might be hard for you to see, but I can see where the lines are and where to take out the extra vinyl. You see that? And then I have this little gadget to grab the extra vinyl. So I'm taking the inside of the, pull it right in there and gets rid of it because it's very sticky. It kind of sticks to everything, honestly. So I'm taking the extra bits out of the letters inside here. Okay, and there it is. Looks like it's all of it. And there it is. You can see there on the right side. All right, so I'm at the workbench, and I want to show you what we need to actually put the images onto the bibs. So you see here, to give you a close-up, these bibs I just got, on Amazon. You can get any kind of bib that works. I would recommend like a cotton-based, certainly. And here's the Snoopy image. How fun is that? So we're going to use this bib for the Food Glorious Food. If you notice, I actually have this felt pad that I have on my work surface, so to protect from the heat. And I've got my little tiny little iron here. This is great for Cricut projects because it's so small. You could certainly use a regular iron as well, but I think this worked perfectly because the bib is so tiny. And here I've actually got like this Teflon sheet that goes over, and it's just to protect the image so that, if the iron is hot, it's going to protect the image while you're ironing it on. So first I'm actually going to I'm just going to kind of make sure that this is nice and kind of wrinkle free. This is kind of like almost like a linen type cotton. So it is a little bit textured, but I have found that they work perfectly fine. This is the image that we cut out, and you're going to put it wherever you want on your garment. This can be done with garments like t-shirts and all sorts of things. I've done it on costumes for a variety of shows. So feel free to be creative with whatever your images are and what it is you want to put them on. Okay, so we've got that there. We're going to put the Teflon sheet over, and I've put my iron up to the highest setting, and I'm going to be careful not to move the image underneath, but I am going to keep my heat there for approximately 15 seconds or so, and I'm going to have to move this. The image, I don't know if you can see it underneath here. I can see it through the Teflon sheet. You want to make sure that you don't move it, obviously, because that would be not where you want it to be eventually on the bib in this case. But as I said, I've done this with tea towels. I've done this with like all sorts of shirts and all sorts of costume type garments. So feel free, like if you have a Cricut, and if you don't have like the Cricut that I have, mine is actually an Explorer Air 2.
there's, that's not even the most recent version. They have the Cricut, the smaller ones that you can use that are not nearly as expensive, and you can certainly do this sort of work with that as well. All right, so I want to make sure that this is really secured on there. And I'm going to let it cool once I, okay, I see that, you can see it's not quite done, so I want to make sure I do that. It wasn't fully adhered, so you really want to make sure that you're hitting all of those elements, especially because we have words all the way across. There's so many different show lyrics and images that you can use. I would love to do quilt with images from shows, all different quilt squares. I think that would be really fun. Pillows, certainly, if a quilt is too big of a project. But there are great ways to use your Cricut to really support your theater, your love of theater. All right, so I'm going to let this cool. Let me just check. All right, I'm going to let this cool for a few minutes, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've let it cool for a few minutes. It's now cool to the touch, and I'm going to try to peel it back. We'll see how it adhered. And you want to be really careful so you don't lift any of those, especially some of these letters are quite thin. So you want to be really careful in lifting this off. I am going to iron it again after I take the plastic off, just to make sure that we've got it fully adhered. Yeah, because I see the bottom of the F there is not quite as strongly adhered as I'd like it to be. So I'm going to take the Teflon again and put it over, and I'm just going to make sure I get that F really, to make sure that that's really fully adhered. And then basically we're done. These, you can, wash them in the machine. You can dry them. And they should last a good, before, up until baby outgrows them anyway. Let's see how that looks. All right, how cute is that? Oh my gosh, that's adorable. I love it. All right, we got glorious food there. We've got supper time, and we've got feed me. All of those awesome musicals, and great for bibs for baby. So I hope you try some Cricut projects, and send me pictures so I can see what you've done. I love seeing what you're creating. So thank you for joining me for this week's Theater Craft. I will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.